Here we are, guys, another tutorial. This is one of the old holes, Santa Ventura hole number 5 from the third tee box. So what I'll usually try to do is try to keep it a little bit shorter. Here you can see I'm going with right around 3 to 4 spin. What I'll also usually do is use a little bit extra elevation, plus 10%. It's going to accommodate for, shooting down to a little bit of a lower target here. So here we need to account for roughly about 6 rings here. And that's right in there. And you might just see me just gently curl it. Nothing that I want to get too aggressive with. You do got to be a little bit careful. There's going to be some wind effect. You want to make sure that you hopefully don't hit that rough on the second hop, but you want to stay very, towards that left-hand side, because it's going to keep you out of the shielded tree view for this second shot. So you can see that I have a clear path to the fairway. It's going to be very wind dependent as whether or not I'm going to have a shielded view. But in most cases, on a wind that is pointed between 12 and 6 o'clock, or at least maybe 11 and 7 o'clock, I should be good for my second shot. So the only winds that I don't want to get, which is going to make my job just a little bit harder, would be between 7 and 11 o'clock. It's going to really bring the trees into play. So that gives me a high probability, 60% chance I'm going to have a very good wind opportunity. This drive here is a little bit too short, so all the long winds is not going to really be covered when you drive it that short. So you do want to be a little careful there. Well, of course, they can just give you a 12 o'clock tailwind, which will kind of take care of any complications that you could have had because of that. So here you'll see what I do is I try to kind of keep my ball guide kind of running out towards the hole, kind of like this, and also right towards this fringe. I'll usually use a little bit less ring adjustment, so maybe 10% less, 10.7 rings, somewhere in that fashion. Just make sure that you straighten this up as best as possible. And right around there, 10.7 as I mentioned. Didn't catch my perfect ball. Probably going to end up costing me, but we'll see. But it looks pretty good. It's rolling in. It's got some good speed, and as you can see that it does shoot off towards the left. You have to be, very precise with the way that you land on this hole. Keep in mind that your ball guide is going to expand out, so you might have saw, where I was originally, setting up to land was very close to the fringe, and then when you play those rings, it actually expands out between that first and second bounce. So you're going to see that it comes in much more hot, and that's why you see that I was leaving the ball guide short of the hole intentionally, because I knew it was going to stretch out and go much more through the hole. But here you can see with this wind, kind of a blessing in disguise. Kind of the one case where my opponent here can still be somewhat precise with the way that they go about doing this. That's not quite enough, though. You typically want to get that third bounce on the green. So that's what you're going to be looking to do when going about this shot, is make sure that you're not running out too slow, and that third bounce is right about the very front of the green. Should give you enough momentum to run down that hole towards the hole. But nevertheless, we're just going to go to shootout here, and hopefully it's one of the ones that I don't have covered yet. Well, I think I have them most of them covered, but with only maybe one shot. Is there a City Park one that I don't have on the third tee? I might be missing one. Santa Ventura, I think I'm still missing one. But, in due time, hopefully I can get all these.